Have you ever felt an unexplainable connection to someone, like an invisible thread binding you together emotionally or spiritually? You might be experiencing what's known as a soul tie. Soul ties are deep, often life-altering connections between two people that transcend the physical, touching, emotional, and spiritual realms. While these ties can bring support, love, and growth into our lives, they can also become restrictive or even toxic. Today, we'll dive into the world of soul ties, what they are, how they form, and how to break free from unhealthy ones. What is a soul tie? At its core, a soul tie is an intense bond that links two souls on an emotional or spiritual level. While we often hear about soul ties in the context of romantic relationships, they can form in other areas of life too, through friendships, family connections, or even mentorships. Imagine a part of your soul intertwining with someone else's. This bond can be uplifting and nurturing, but when it becomes negative, it can feel like an emotional chain that holds you back. The types of soul ties. Soul ties come in many forms, each shaped by the nature of the relationship. Physical soul ties. These bonds often arise through physical intimacy. During sexual encounters, bonding hormones like oxytocin are released, creating a strong emotional and spiritual connection. While these ties can deepen romantic relationships, they may also linger long after the relationship ends, sometimes in unhealthy ways. Emotional soul ties. These ties form through shared experiences, personal struggles, and emotional vulnerability. You might feel deeply connected to a close friend or family member who understands you in ways others can't. Spiritual soul ties. These are formed with individuals who share a deep spiritual connection, such as mentors or people walking the same spiritual path. This tie can lead to profound personal growth and transformation. Soul ties in biblical context. While the term soul tie isn't directly mentioned in the Bible, Scripture offers insight into the concept. In 1 Samuel chapter 18 verse 1, the bond between David and Jonathan is described as their souls being knit together, symbolizing a deep and positive connection. Similarly, Genesis chapter 2 verse 24 speaks of marriage as two people becoming one flesh, highlighting the profound unity created in such relationships. But not all ties are beneficial. In 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 16, Scripture warns about the spiritual implications of physical intimacy outside a committed relationship, illustrating how negative soul ties can form. From a biblical perspective, soul ties can either be uplifting or detrimental, depending on the relationship's nature and alignment with your faith and personal growth. Recognizing a soul tie in your life is the first step to understanding its impact. Here's how to differentiate between positive and negative ties. Positive soul ties. They empower and motivate you. They bring joy, balance, and emotional security. The connection feels uplifting and fosters personal growth. Negative soul ties. They create obsessional thoughts. You can't stop thinking about the person, even to the point of distraction. They lead to emotional dependence, making you feel you can't function without the other person. You find it difficult to let go even after the relationship has ended. One of the strongest ways to form a soul tie is through physical intimacy. During sexual encounters, the body releases hormones that foster emotional and spiritual attachment. In healthy relationships, this bond strengthens trust and connection. However, in unhealthy or fleeting relationships, these ties can become burdensome, leaving emotional baggage that affects future connections. Marriage, on the other hand, creates one of the deepest soul ties. It unites partners emotionally, spiritually, and physically, fostering companionship and growth. But if the relationship turns toxic, the same tie can feel suffocating, leading to emotional strain and a need for healing. Breaking an unhealthy soul tie. If you've identified a negative soul tie, breaking it is essential for your emotional and spiritual well-being. Here's how to do it step by step. Acknowledge the tie. The first step is recognizing its existence and its impact on your life. Reflect and forgive. Reflect on the relationship and forgive both yourself and the other person. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior. It's about releasing the emotional weight that ties you to the past. Exercise. Write a letter of forgiveness to the person, expressing your emotions and releasing lingering resentment. You don't need to send it. The act of writing is for your healing. Visualization and cord cutting. Imagine a cord connecting you to this person. Close your eyes and visualize cutting the cord with scissors, watching it dissolve into light. This symbolic act helps release the emotional attachment. Journal your journey. Write about the lessons you've learned from the relationship and what you're letting go of. Journaling can bring clarity and closure. Prompt: what did this relationship teach me, and how can I use those lessons to move forward? Set new boundaries. Protect yourself from forming new unhealthy ties by setting clear emotional and physical boundaries. Affirmation: I am whole and complete on my own. I release all attachments that no longer serve my growth. Healing after breaking a soul tie. Once you've broken a soul tie, focus on healing and self-care. Reclaim your independence by reconnecting with your passions and interests. Engage in activities like meditation, physical exercise, or spending time in nature to restore emotional balance. Build positive relationships that nurture and support you. Soul ties and twin flames. For those exploring twin flame relationships, soul ties often play a significant role. Twin flames are said to be two halves of the same soul, and their connection is intense, transformative, and deeply spiritual. While this bond can foster growth and enlightenment, it can also be challenging, requiring patience, balance, and self-awareness. Final thoughts. Embracing the lessons of soul ties. Soul ties, whether positive or negative, offer opportunities for growth and self-discovery. By understanding their nature, we can nurture the ones that uplift us and release those that hold us back. Remember, breaking an unhealthy soul tie isn't just about letting go. It's about reclaiming your power and creating space for healthier, more fulfilling connections. If you found this exploration of soul ties meaningful, like, share, and subscribe to stay connected with more insights into personal and spiritual growth. Remember, you have the strength to embrace the connections that nurture your soul and let go of the ones that don't. Trust your journey. It's leading you to a place of freedom, balance, and joy.